Now, the legal team of the former CEO of the NPA, Dr. Mustafa Abdul Hamid, has accused the Office of the Special Prosecutor of engaging in public theatrics following its recent claim that assets worth over 100 million cedis linked to him had been seized. The Office of the Special Prosecutor, in a statement earlier this week, said it had seized and frozen assets valued at more than 100 million and over 100,000 US dollars with additional assets under active tracing. These actions, the OSP said, were based on strong documentary, banking and transaction evidence linking the proceeds to the alleged offenses. In a statement released by Hay Partners, Dr. Mustafa Hamid's lawyers, they emphatically denied the OSP's claim, stating that no assets or businesses belonging to their clients have been identified, traced, or seized. A legal team further criticized the OSP for making public assertions inconsistent with its court filings, reminding the office of its constitutional and ethical obligations to act with fairness, integrity, and respect for the rights of individuals before the court. Well, we'll go for a quick break. When we return, the lawyers of Dr. Hamid, I should say, will join us via the phones, and then we can going on to the phone lines. But if you were not with us before we went on that break, has to do with lawyers of Dr. Mustafa Hamid asking the OSP to avoid the theatrics, the public theatrics he's engaged in. Joseph Dindiok Pemka, as a legal counsel for Dr. Hamid, is joined us via the phones. I appreciate your time. Counsel, you appear to have issues with the manner in which the OSP reacts to matters concerning your clients. Is that what we are to get based on the releases that we've seen from you?
Yes, thank you very much. And thanks to your cherished viewers and listeners, and thanks for having me. Now, you've read our response to the OSP's release. If you ask me, I'll tell you that what the OSP did is absolutely needless and uncalled for. You see, I have said it time and again, and I have referred lawyers. People are deliberately staying away from that provision. And let me repeat it. Go and check Rule 42 FII of LI 2423 of 2020. What the prosecution is doing is completely unacceptable. Inciting public sentiments against accused persons who are not convicts is completely unethical and unacceptable and must not be entertained a minute. None of the persons is a convict, and yet you run commentary as if they are convicts. You are talking about confiscation when you have not even convicted the persons and you have not linked whatever you are talking about to process of crime. Not even that is the case. But the continuous, deliberate attempt on the part of the OSP to malign and link Dr. Mustafa Abdul Hamid to the prosecutions they are engaging in. And the perspective is clear. Please go and take the charge sheet and the facts. The properties in question that he's talking about, none of the properties in that 100 million claim he's making, none is linked to Dr. Mustafa Hamid. None, not one.
Mr. Pamka, if you read clearly...
Hold on. The properties he claimed, he traced it to some of the accused persons and some companies that have no relationship with Mustafa.
Right.
And yet, anytime he's putting out information, he wants the public to believe that those properties worth 100 million Ghana cedis that he has traced are properties of Dr. Mustafa Abdul Hamid, which claim is totally false by the facts available to him and the charges that he himself has presented against the accused in court.
And that's why I want to come in. That's why I want to come in relation to the claims and the fact sheet. nowhere in what we've seen the OSP put up has he suggested or claimed that the 100 million cedis, $100,000 in assets seized and the likes is linked to Mustafa Hamid. He says the case. And so upon what basis are you saying that he is linking it to your client? Because he hasn't in any way, in the latest write-up that we've seen as well, and the facts which you are alluding to as well, and the charge sheet, hasn't pointed that it is linked to Mustafa Hamid, but has only said it is linked to the case.
So why, with the greatest respect and humility, my brother, with the greatest respect and humility, what is the reason for the latest statement that was issued? Didn't he say that he was responding to a statement by Mustafa?
And reiterated the fact.
In the first place, what you are saying,
reiterated he was responding to Mustafa and reiterated the fact in relation to the case.
No, you see, you are getting it wrong, and I have to point it out to you.
Right.
If there are 10 accused persons, and then one accused person out of the 10 makes a statement and you are responding to it, and you talk about seizure of property worth 100 million, what are you insinuating? Does anybody need to know, need to ask you any further questions to know that you are trying to tell the public that the person's property that you have traced is 100 million? You don't need anybody to tell you that. Because he was responding to a video that he has seen of Mustafa. You don't know what he said? That was what he said in the statement. That they have come, a statement, that a video has come to their attention. And they want to state for a fact that properties worth 100 million have been traced. So when you are responding to a video and you say that, then you can tell me that the person you are responding to has nothing to do with what you have said. Did he say that in the statement? Did he say in the statement that the 100 million they have traced has nothing to do with Mustafa? If that is part of the release, the OSP may read it out to me and let me hear you. Read any part of the statement of the OSP that says that, yes, we have traced property worth 100 million, but out of that property worth 100 million, nothing is traceable to Mustafa. Read that portion that says that to me. So what
we know is the portion reads that it is linked to the case.
And the commentary being run disgracefully. Why? Why are you defending them?
We are not seeking to defend. We're only trying to put forward the different arguments and the fact that if we read the latest response that came from the OSP, and obviously my production will try and pull up the fact sheet as well, because I don't have that readily here, but they will seek to bring that up if time will allow us to continue the conversation. He just points to the fact that the case, and so I'm asking that the insinuation, you argue, is that he's seeking to insinuate amongst many other things that the properties belong to Dr. Mustafa Hamid, and that's why you have a concern.
The concern. And in the charge sheet and the fact, he is very categorical that this company laundered money, that company laundered money, and there are directors of those companies. Mustafa is not one. He's not related to any of them. And then he goes ahead to say, this property has been traced here, this property, it is in the name of this, in the name of that. None is linked up to Mustafa. So why constantly, anytime I want to say anything, it is Mustafa's name? Why? What is the rationale behind it? Why? What is the rationale? So look, my brother, I have stated it time without number, and of course without equivocation, that it is only, excuse me to say, enemies of the state who will say that graft should not be fought. Right. Any person who says graft should not be fought is an enemy of the state, including you and myself. But let's put things in perspective. The most important thing the public is waiting for, right, is that you secure conviction and then recruit assets for the state. It is not public commentary about intentions. It is for you to go to court, prove your case. When you have secured conviction, you go through the processes and take assets, and everybody will clap for you. But it is very easy to speculate and write out things in the media, and people will start becoming hysteric and hate somebody. You should be doing that public trial. Right. So that at the end of the day, if the persons are found guilty, they suffer the penalty for it. Their properties are seized. Until then, Article 92C is very clear that they are presumed to be innocent. You don't incite the public against people who are on trial. It is unethical. It's against the dictates of LI 2423. And mustn't be countenanced. It can be anybody. Not just Dr. Mustafa. It can be anybody. I'm against it. Whether MPP, NDC, or whichever party. Let's not do media trial because it is having the effect of handing over non-convicted persons to the public for distraction. And that can be dangerous to our democracy.
Right. Counsel, there's another aspect of this that on the 13th of November, you're moving an application, if I can call it that, in the court, or a motion in the court, seeking to have the passport of Dr. Hamid handed to him because he has a political engagement in Canada. Provide us with a bit more details as to what the basis of this attempt you're seeking to make is.
But it's a private application we are making. It has nothing to do with the case, per se. This one is Dr. Mustafa Hamid's personal engagement he has outside the country. And you know that when the bail was granted, one of the conditions that was given was that we should deposit the passport, and it has been deposited. So if you want to travel, you have to seek leave and permission of the court before you can travel. And that's what we have done. We have adumbrated our reasons and etc. It is for the court to determine. And I'm not ready to discuss the merits or otherwise or whatever is there.
What happens if the court denies it?
There is nothing that ties him from applying to the court and convincing the court to grant him permission to travel. There's absolutely nothing that prevents him from doing that. And it happens all the time.
Right.
So many things in the past, and the MPT it happened, and the NDC it will happen. If you are standing trial and your passport is actually deposited in the court, when you want to travel, you seek the permission of the court. And if the court is minded to grant it, you travel. If it doesn't, that's the end of the matter. So he's exercising his right. And there's nothing wrong with it.
Right then, appreciate you speaking to us. I was just asking the question, what happens if that is not granted by the courts? But I don't think you heard that because you said you weren't interested in discussing the merits of the matter.
If it is not granted by the courts, you will not travel. Because how will you travel without a passport?
Right.
If it is not granted by the court, it means it's not granted and you will not travel. So.
Counsel, as always, I appreciate you speaking to us. That's Joseph Dindiok Pemka. He is he's a private legal practitioner as well as a legal counsel for former NPA boss Dr. Mustafa Hamid, speaking to us